Mr. Brown, thank you. What a beautiful day, right? To start the day recognizing, a teacher that I have admired, who has been on this journey of education, right, both within the community, within the school, with us, who has done a phenomenal job of bringing all of the science and all of the civics that are required in agriculture together, and to see it here at Central Columbia. I'm just proud to be here, to be with you, to recognize you this morning as one of the Golden Owl Award finalists in Pennsylvania. Is a real testament to the profession of agriculture education. That's my background, but it's also this statement about what we value in this community. Right? We value the agriculture, we value education, we value great teachers, we value students who have this passion for learning, of course, but also a passion for agriculture. And having spent a few minutes with you this morning, while every single one of you will not be in sort of agriculture as the career pathway, wherever you go and whatever you do, you will be better at it. Right? You'll be a better citizen, you'll be a better student, you'll be a better parent, you'll be a better employee or employer. So thank you for being here and being part of Central Columbia. And to the administration, I mean, it's really been fun to watch over the years. Right? I've had the privilege of being here a couple of times to see the journey. And as we talked earlier, the very intentional sort of build on the career pathways. It is so logical, right, that we think of pathways. Right? You have a pathway. You know sort of where you want to go. And we spend a lot of time in the department, but increasingly within the Department of Education and the larger workforce conversation, speaking about sort of the workforce and the career pathways. If you look at all of the jobs in ag that are in-demand jobs in Pennsylvania, there are only about 8 with a defined career pathway, right? But there are another 40 that are in-demand jobs, right? So when you think about how does somebody in their freshman year here at Central Columbia even know that all of those careers exist unless you have some way to define them and a path to get you there, right? That's the beauty of the design of the career pathway in Central Columbia High School. As we heard from the superintendent, Mr. Groshek, thank you, by the way, for serving on the Ag Commission in Pennsylvania, but also the vision for constructing the model we have here. So thank you. This is National FFA Week. I can't think of a better reminder of the FFA than standing in this classroom, right? Every place you look, there's comfort here, right? There's comfort for me as I look around and just see the recognition of the students, the reminders of agriculture, the partnerships that are evident in the work that you do here is really, really nice. What I like most, though, about the FFA week is it gives us a chance to hit pause, right? To really take a look at our schools, take a look at our ag education programs in Pennsylvania and across America, and recognize how unique this structure is, right? This is built on a very intentional three circle model, right? It differentiates every other part of our educational system because of those intersecting 3 circles. You know what they are, right? Can you tell me what they are? What are they? What's the first one? It's classroom, right? SAE, and I was hoping you would get them in this sequence, right? And then FFA, right? And recognizing the leadership of the FFA and the very good work that's done. I am a product of the FFA, as most of you know. And to be very honest, I say it for all of the great teachers I had at Gettysburg High School. What the FFA and the Battlefield chapter and those 3 teachers at that time allowed me to do was to, explore, to learn, right? To meet people in the community that I never would have found on my own. When would someone 15, 16 years old met with a county commissioner, right? Would I have ever met my local legislators? Would I have ever gone to Kansas City for the National FFA Convention? And for that matter, would I have ever gotten to Penn State for the summer convention and to be on the agronomy team? But beyond all of those experiences, what they saw something more in me than I saw myself. And I really appreciate what they did to develop that, to encourage me, to put me on this path. Speaking of pathways, right, they put me on a path of personal responsibility and public responsibility. And I'm very grateful for that opportunity. I'm still not sure that I could stand on the Midwinter Convention stage and deliver the creed as confidently as you did. Exceptional, right? Because Mr. George Glenn, who was he was a senior teacher, that is how he initially instructed us of getting everybody to stand in front of the classroom and behind his big wooden desk, right, with the owl on the front. I can still see myself standing there, right? And having us, recite the creed. That was our introduction. Little did we know that the goal was that all of the freshmen ultimately would get to the banquet, FFA banquet, and deliver the creed to our colleagues and friends and family. And final, it also in the FFA was the only time in my life that I could have my parents step onto the stage at the Midwinter Convention and say thank you. It's the only time, right? And I think about those days since they have passed, about how nice that was, right? As an FFA member, a state officer, to stand up, bring them on stage, say thank you to mom and dad and all of the people. We don't do that enough, right? But I give credit to the FFA. Why is all this important? Because agriculture is important in Pennsylvania. It's nice to recognize good teachers and good programs, but it is not about what we've looked back on, right? It's not where we started in 1928 with the FFA or 1942 with Central Columbia. It's what we see as the future. And believe me that this world needs what you have now more than ever, right? It needs your passion, it needs your civility, it needs your engagement, it needs your collegiality, it needs your skills, and it just needs you to lead it, right? That is what we're talking about. So when Representative Gleim and Mr. Groshek and our other members of the Commission on Agriculture Excellence in Pennsylvania come together, we are thinking about the future, right? And the beauty of this design of the commission, it came out of discussions with the House and the Senate, between Republicans and Democrats, between the Department of Education and the Department of Agriculture, between partners, about how do we ensure that agriculture education continues to respond to the needs of Pennsylvania, but also how do we grow it, right? How do we make sure it's relevant? How do we make sure at the end of the day the pathway is a clearer pathway than when we started the conversation, right? That is all inside of the commission, and very proud to serve with Representative Gleim, who's in the legislature, and she'll speak to this in a moment. But the real beauty here is it's not about a Department of Ag. It's not about a Department of Education. It's about the collective. It's the commission and the focus on ag education. In addition to that is making sure that we also invest, right? You have to invest in things. You got to invest in the school, right? Invest in machinery, invest in all kinds of things. So what we did through the Pennsylvania Farm Bill, and again in partnership with the governor's office and the House and the Senate, Republican, Democrats, have done something that to this day, 4 years on, differentiates Pennsylvania from every other state in the nation. It remains the only state with a state-level farm bill 4 years on, right? And we're in some very, steep competition with that, right? It's California, it's New York, it's Maryland. Every state will claim they're important in agriculture, and they are, by the way. But to have a state say, we appreciate the state policies, we appreciate the federal investment, but we really need to make the investment in Pennsylvania at home. And we did that through the Pennsylvania Farm Bill. One critical piece of that is ag and youth, right? Have to invest in agriculture and youth. In the grant program, we've done 91 grants, $1 million of investment. 2 of those have been right here in Central Columbia, right? One is in the shop, I think, right? It's the tractor and tractor safety and mechanical side. The other is the simulator. So both of those are part of the crops and the soil science and mechanical pieces. Those types of investments around Pennsylvania is why we support the ag and youth program, but there are a lot of other pieces to it. But at the end of the day, it's about investing in you. Right? It's about investing in education, investing in agriculture. And when I see just in the last 2 years, this rediscovery of our food system in Pennsylvania and around America, right? Where would we be without agriculture? It is the foundation of a civil society. Right? We are in that select group that makes that happen. It starts here, through science, through teaching, through responsibility, putting it into practice, harvesting that, putting it into the system, and at the end of the day, feeding both the state and the nation. And that's a very proud place to be, and that's the future that you have in agriculture, wherever you are in the many, many important positions that are needed in agriculture. That's what we celebrate in National FFA Week. That's why we're here, to recognize great teachers, great students, and an organization that has led on agriculture leadership since 1928. Proud to be part of it.